What's up, y'all, and welcome to another episode of Going In Raw with the Shakira Deshawn. Y'all, today's episode is gonna be really good. I'm kind of excited for this episode. It's gonna be very raw, open, and honest. I might get some backlash for this one, but it is what it is. So we're just gonna go ahead and get right into the episode. Oh, y'all. So this episode is about parenting. It's about how we bleed on our children because of our past traumas, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah, I'm just gonna jump in there, y'all. Y'all know how I do. If you're new here, welcome and thank you for listening. If you're old here, like I said, you already know how I do. So I guess I'll just start at the beginning because I want y'all to really understand. So, first and foremost, for y'all that don't know, I have two children. I have a 13-year-old and an 8-year-old. So, y'all, I never wanted kids. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I never wanted kids. As a kid, I didn't have a childhood. Um, I feel like as I was like 6 years old, I had a house key. I would get off the bus, go in the house, hop up on the counter, make noodles like at 6. I just always had a lot of responsibility. My mom has two other children that are younger than me. I am the oldest, and I just had a lot of weight from them on my shoulders that she placed on my shoulders. So I felt like I was always a second mom. Like I was in elementary giving them baths, changing diapers, feeding them, like all of these things. By the time we all were in school, I was washing clothes. I mean, I was washing clothes, cleaning bathrooms, washing dishes. Um, I would have to iron our clothes for the week, y'all. Like I would have to sit there and iron our clothes for the whole week. Like I just always had so much responsibility that I didn't ask for. So I feel like my childhood in a way was stolen from me. As y'all know, I was molested as a child. So I just never I never was a kid. So I would always be like, I'm not having kids. Like having kids never crossed my mind. And then boom, I'm 19. I find out I'm pregnant and I'm devastated. Like my mom didn't teach me about birth control. I didn't know what birth control was, y'all. At 19, I didn't know what birth control was. My mom didn't teach me about my period or anything like that. Like I remember I started my period late, y'all. I started my period in high school. And I remember getting off of work. That's how old I was. Yes, working age. And I didn't even know I started my period till I got home. And I put on my pants. I'm just like, whoa. And I go in my mom's room. She's in her restroom at the time. And I tell her, like, hey, Ma, I started my period. She looks me directly in my face and said, what the F you want me to do? And I just turned around and walked out. And I went in the restroom. I sat on the toilet and I just sat there. She comes, she cracks the door open and she sits feminine products there. But my mom didn't teach. Like I learned I literally taught myself everything I know. Like mom didn't teach me how to cook. She didn't teach me how to do nothing but clean up and watch her kids. And I'm not bashing her. I'm not bashing her. I'm just this was my life. So it'll all make sense in a minute when I get to talking about parenting. So yeah, boom, 19, I'm pregnant. Didn't know what sex was. Mom didn't teach me about sex. I was introduced to it by a family member who inappropriately did things to me. So like I didn't know nothing. Like I was just out here 19 having a boyfriend thinking I'm grown like but still a kid and I became pregnant. I'll never forget taking that pregnancy test and just crying for days. Because although I never wanted kids, I also didn't believe in abortions. And it was just like, Shakira, what did you do? So after feeling like, well, okay, I'm gonna keep the kid. Like I'm not gonna get rid of the kid. At this time, I don't realize the weight of being a parent. And I don't want to get emotional. I didn't realize the weight that I was gonna have to carry from that day on. Like nobody could have told me like this was what it's gonna be like, and I was gonna be like, oh, for it, like believe that. Like no, like I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I didn't know what parenting really took. And let me tell you, if you don't have kids, it's not a Hallmark movie, baby. It's not a Disney movie, baby. It's not none of that. Okay, this shit is a lot. It's a lot, and we need to talk about this more. We need to talk about parenting and how that affects us. Because okay, let me just before I even get here. So yeah, first kid at 19. I didn't realize how much trauma I truly had until I was 25. And by this time, I'm pregnant with my youngest daughter. She was planned. She was planned because I just felt like my oldest daughter needed a buddy. And I was getting married. And I thought I had this perfect little freaking thing going. Like, husband, kids, like I have somebody to do this with. Like, life just throws you for a loop, doesn't it? So we planned the my youngest daughter, but at this time is when I'm realizing, okay, I don't know how to freaking communicate. Um, I depressed. I had postpartum depression with my youngest. I'm in a marriage, going through the woes of this. I'm really discovering myself and what I thought it should look like versus what reality looked like, if that makes sense. Like growing up, I saw my mom fight. Like for the in and out when my dad was in, like I saw them fight. Like so I'm thinking love is something totally different. I didn't grow up here and I love you. I feel like the first time my mom told me she loved me was when I graduated high school. We weren't hugged as kids. We weren't. My mom didn't have conversations with us. Like she would literally get off of work, go in her room, shut her door, like every day. Like she didn't sit down and have talks with us or anything. So for me at this time, I'm thinking how I'm going about things is normal until things are being called out. Like you're not affectionate. And this was what my ex was telling me. Like, you don't know how to communicate. You're not affectionate, because he grew up in a different home than I did, a different type of home. And then it's just like, okay, wow. Like you start doing that introspection and you're like, okay. And y'all, I'm a very psychological person. Like I love the way the mind thinks. Like I'm going back to school for psychology, but I love the mind. So once it was called to my attention, I started to look at him. And then I'm like, okay, you do XYZ, you got problems too. Then I'm really processing the full extent of my relationship with my mom. And I'm like, okay, you got problems too. Like, you literally start to, once your mind opens up to it, you literally start to look at everybody and call out everybody's problems. So now I'm realizing, okay, wow, I've been doing this totally wrong. I was very snappy with my kid. Like, I would just yell at her. Like, first instinct, boom, I'm fussing. Like, I just realized so many characteristics I had was from my childhood and what I thought was okay. Because my mom was a yeller, my mom was a cursor. So you grow up thinking, oh, yelling and cursing is parent, like this is okay. And then it's in your face and it's like, okay, whoa, this shit not okay. Like I'm doing this shit all wrong. So now I'm about 26 and life is just hitting hard. So like I said a second ago, I never wanted kids. And I'm also going to be very honest and open when I say I don't come for me. Do not come for me. I don't just love being a mom. I feel like parenting is exhausting. Parenting is a 24/7, even if your kid's not with you, it's a 24/7 thing. And I say that because I'm constantly thinking about my children. When they go to school, is the school gonna get kaboomed? When they're out with somebody, is somebody gonna touch my child inappropriately? Like, what's gonna happen to my child? Like, I'm constantly thinking about my kids. Everything I do, I have to think about them. So it's a constant battle in your mind while trying to heal, while trying to grow, while trying to better yourself and just keep yourself in a good mind state. Like, you got to think about them too. So I got to be honest when I say I don't just love being a parent. I love my kids to death. Anybody who know me will tell you I don't play about my kids. So don't even try that. Like, I don't play about my kids in no shape, form, or fashion, but I don't love being a mom. And I just feel like, to y'all out there who are kidless, don't let nobody gaslight you into kids. Don't let nobody, oh, you're getting up there, you should go have a, don't let nobody put that weight on you. Don't have a kid and bring a kid into this world until you are 100% sure that that's something you're ready for. Because when I tell you it's not easy, like, it's not easy and it's not fun. Like, to some people that might be their perspective, but I'm gonna be real honest with y'all when I say this shit ain't no joke. Like, parenting is no goddamn joke. And honestly, I didn't really start getting this parenting shit right till about 3 years ago. All before that, I was very short tempered with my kids. I was very emotionally unavailable. Emotionally unavailable. It was to the point to where, like, not when they were babies, when they were a little older, like, once they got about 6, 7, 8, and y'all are like bigger kids, like, it would literally make me cringe to like hug them. I wasn't hugged as a child. So for me, like, affection to big people was just like, whoa, like it just made me cringe. And it's like I wouldn't want to lay with them. I wouldn't like kiss on my kids at first because every little thing would make me like cringe. Now, one thing I always tell my kids is I love them. Like, I've always told them that. But I'm not gonna lie, when they start getting big and looking like grown up people, I wasn't really a fan of affection with them. And that's something I had to break out of. I would always yell and curse. That'd be the first thing that come out of my mouth. I had to learn, like, that's Shakira, that's not okay. Like don't yell at them like that. Like, don't talk to them like that. I have great kids. But it'd be the, kids is kids. But I had to reprogram my brain to understand, like, I don't know this life and they don't either. These are a different generation of kids we're raising. We still figuring it out. They dang sure figuring it out. Like, calm down, take a step back, and learn patience. I had to really learn patience now because my 13-year-old only has 5 more years with me, and I want these to be the most amazing 5 years of the rest of her childhood. My little one's 8. She has plenty more time with me, but I got it. I wanted to get it right faster because with my first one, I had already messed up. And it's certain things in that situation that have traumatized my child. Like, I know she has certain traumas from her younger years because I wasn't a perfect parent and I was in a toxic marriage. So she saw things. And I know I got it right a little late, but I'm proud I caught it when I did because I still have time to make up for it, if that makes sense. And with my little one, I even have more time to fix it. But yeah, like, my mom used to go to her room and shut the door. Like, I had a tendency of doing that. And it's like I had to really relearn all of these things while I'm growing. And I'm trying to do what I need to do for me and my mental health because I've suffered with depression and suicidal thoughts and different things of that nature. But it's like, damn, like, this shit is a lot, bruh. Like, parenting is a lot. So I can understand how, I'm not going to say why, I can understand how our parents didn't get it right. Because that is back in the day when mental health wasn't something that was spoken about a lot. I'll give them that. But it also takes a lot of strength and resilience and determination to say and show that I'm going to be better and I want better. Not only for myself, but for my children. Like, That takes a lot to really look in the mirror and take accountability for what you've put on your kids and accept the fact that you're not as great as you thought you were. So I can understand how they never grew, but I make no excuses. I make no excuses for it, because the way you parent your children isn't who you need to be for them when they're adults, if that makes sense. So it's like, yeah, I forgive you for everything that happened in my childhood, but now that I'm an adult and I'm voicing how I feel and I'm telling you I need these things and you're still not doing it, it's like boundaries, bro. Like, and more than anything, I don't want my kids to grow up and say, I was avoidant, I was emotionally unavailable. They didn't feel loved. They didn't feel protected. They didn't feel like, I would really hate for them to grow up and say that to me. So I just felt like for them, I had to grow and evolve and become who I'm becoming. Because like I said, I just really started getting this right three years ago. About, like, I was getting better over time, but to when everything like really clicked, when I left my marriage and I realized that my daughter's grades got better and she wasn't as tense, that's when everything clicked and I really started to grow our connection between me and both of my children. Now, like, we have real conversations, we have real talks, and they're deep talks, and they're mental related. Like, I'll break stuff down to them. So how do you feel about this? So how do you feel about that? So how did that make you feel? I apologize to your children. Your children, and when you apologize, tell them what you're apologizing for so they know how to take accountability. So when I apologize to my kids, I tell them why I'm apologizing to them. I'm sorry I did A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I feel like that's super important. Now, I also asked them, like, I asked them a couple months ago, hey, like, what do y'all feel like I should do better or can do better as a parent? And both of their answers, like, shook me. They shook me. My youngest daughter said she feels like I'm always on my phone, and she doesn't like when she comes up and talks to me and I'm on my phone talking to her, because she doesn't feel heard. So she asked if I could please put my phone down when she talks to me so she knows I hear her. Y'all, it's like, okay, sis, like, I got you, sis. But it's also a proud moment, because it's like, dang, I taught you how to communicate. I've created such a safe space that you feel comfortable communicating how I make you feel. Like, little moments like that let me know I am doing right as a mom. And it's just like, wow. Like, my oldest daughter said, okay, y'all, I have a resting B face. So she said she never knows when to approach me. Like, she never knows when I'm in the mood to talk because of my face. And she's like, yeah, I know you say come talk to you anytime, but for me, I feel like you're unapproachable. And it's just like, wow, because I know why you feel that way. And it's because of how I used to be. When I would get upset or anything, I would shut down. And when I shut down, I become emotionally unavailable. So I recognize that that's a trauma I gave her from her younger childhood. And in that moment, I had to accept that I have failed my kid. I'm not continuing to fail her but at one point I did. And it was just so deep. And it just made me want to be even better than I already am. So when she said that, I acknowledged how she felt, but it's just like, wow, like that kid used to not communicate at all because she grew up with me when I didn't know how to communicate. So for her to open up and tell me that, I felt like I finally created that safe space within her. Because like I said, my little one's only 8, so I've had it right more years of her life than my oldest one. But to finally be breaking that barrier and getting in is like the most amazing feeling in the world. Because she's still young and impressionable. And I still have time to continue to get it right. Like I have plenty of time to continue to get it right. But I just feel like the demons we don't fight, we pass down onto our children. So I think it's very important to have the tough conversations with your kid. Check yourself when you're wrong. Apologize to your kid. I feel like they're human. They're human. These kids are going to grow up and be future parents, spouses, leaders, whatever they want to be in this life. And the best thing we could do for them is to set them up mentally and emotionally to where they're ready to go out here and battle real life. Because as we can see, we all tied because we weren't set up. So we really just out here figuring it out. The best thing you could do for your kid is to set your kid up to have the brightest, most emotionally and mentally clear life they can. So yeah, guys. I think I always end my episodes like that. So yeah, guys. I think I'm going to leave this episode here. I could literally rant on this topic for forever. But I think I'm going to leave this episode right here. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Going In Raw. Can't wait for next week's episode. I'm sending you guys nothing but love and light. And have a good day, evening, night, whenever you're listening.